Om Shanti. Today we have Amrita Ben from Mumbai Vilepalli Center who shall be conducting the Murli. Amrita Ben, over to you.
Before we start the Murli, we'll remember Baba. Om Shanti. So today's Murli. Today Baba is seeing his children as his beloved royal children. And Baba is making us all remind that we are self-sovereign. We have that kingdom over which we have complete ruling and controlling power at the present. And this ruling and controlling power is then maintained, sustained for a very, very long time in the future. So today Baba is checking every attribute of the kingdom. In the kingdom, there is a rule, there is a dharma, there is also peace and prosperity. So today Baba sees children as his royal children, ruler children, someone who rules the kingdom. And Baba also makes us aware that there is also a kingdom of Maya, which is trying to overpower you, which is trying to rule your inner kingdom, and how to protect ourselves from Maya, how to be aware, and how to maintain that ruling and controlling power over the self. So today's Murli is titled as The Beloved Royal Children of the Confluence Age, and so the rulers of the future kingdom. The beloved royal children of the confluence age, and so the rulers of the future kingdom. Today, the Father, the comforter of hearts of all children. Comforter of hearts, beautiful word, which takes us to that feeling, which Baba says, Dil Aram. Dil ko comfort dene wala. The comforter of hearts of all children is seeing all his beloved royal children from everywhere. Let us now see ourselves with the vision of Baba, how he sees us, his beloved royal children. Each child is worthy of the affection of the comforter of hearts. It's a big degree. We are worthy of his affection, who is the comforter of hearts. This divine affection, the supreme affection, can only be attained by a fortunate handful of souls. It's a big, big fortune that we attain his affection, and it can only be attained by little number of souls, fortunate handful of souls. A few out of multi-millions. For many births, you experienced affection of souls and great souls. Baba says your heart has experienced affection of many souls and also many great souls. Now, in this one alaukic birth, you are experiencing supreme love and affection beyond the greatness, no? The supreme love and affection. You have become the beloved royal children through this divine affection. What is the basis that we have become his children? It is because of this divine affection, the supreme unconditional affection. This is why the Father, the comforter of hearts, has the alaukic intoxication. Even Baba has that intoxication that each of his children are the children who are to become kings. You are kings, are you not? You are not subjects, are you? I was putting up this question and this checking point that who are we? Baba sees us as kings. So are we kings or subjects? What do all of you say your title is at present? In Sangam Yug, we say we are Raj Yogis. Are you all Raj Yogis or are some also Praja Yogis? If all of you are Raj Yogis, where will the subjects come from? So Baba says, over whom will you rule? There have to be subjects. When will the Praja Yogis come? Baba has left this question open-ended. That you are Raj Yogis, not Praja Yogis. You're going to rule. And Raj Dulare, children, like how a father will say. Beloved royal children means the kings of the present time and also of the future. You have a double kingdom, not just the kingdom of the future, the kingdom at the present. Before becoming the future kings, you have claimed the right to self-sovereignty at the present time. You have claimed the right to self-sovereignty at the present time. So do you check the activity of your self-sovereign kingdom? Just as you sing the praise of the future kingdom, what is the praise that we mention and that we say of the future kingdom? It is one kingdom, one religion, a kingdom of complete peace, happiness, and wealth. In the same way, O self-sovereign kings, do these things constantly exist in the activity of the self-sovereign kingdom? It's a direct connection. What we experience today at the present in Sangam Yuga, it becomes the foundation of what we attain in the future. So if we are a king of our own kingdom today, then we become kings there and come in that royal family. And if we don't, then Baba has asked that question that if you become subject of your own senses here today in the present, then there also it won't be a kingdom, but you will become subjects. So it's a direct connection. So Baba says, like what we have the praise in Satyu, one kingdom, one dharma, oneness. Today, Baba is telling about the present kingdom that you have to check where there is one kingdom inside. So let us go on and checking whether that oneness is there in me, that rule is there in me at the present. So one kingdom means that I, the soul, constantly control the kingdom of the physical organs. One kingdom. King is always one. So the soul constantly control the kingdom of the physical organs, which carry out the functioning of the kingdom. However, in between, instead of being a self-sovereign, someone else doesn't sometimes begin to claim a right, do they? Again, a point to check whether I have complete rule over my physical organs, also the subtle ones, the kingdom, or Baba says someone else takes over. The kingdom belonging to someone else is Maya's kingdom. You being controlled by someone else, it is Maya. The sign of the kingdom belonging to someone else is to be dependent on that someone. Maya is controlling. The sign is I will be dependent on it. There is some other rule from outside controlling you. You are dependent on. So just a simple technique to check whether I have sovereignty or not is to check whether I have some dependencies in any form. Gross is okay, but the subtle dependencies, if you do, then you cannot claim that right to rule yourself. So Baba says that it's Maya's kingdom. If the kingdom is belonging to someone else, the sign is to be dependent on that someone. The sign of self-sovereignty is that you constantly experience yourself to be an elevated one with all rights, with that authority over the self. That is the true self-respect, having complete authority over the self, over our own thoughts, over the feelings. And that is what the Purusha that we are doing. We are checking that, whether we have control over feelings or someone else from outside decides how do we feel. That is being dependent. So Baba, he liberates us from all those dependencies and makes us the ruler of our own kingdom. So what is the sign that you are a king? You constantly experience yourself to be an elevated one with all rights. A kingdom belonging to someone else makes you dependent and brings you under the influence of others. Getting influenced, it's another definition of dependency. So Baba says you're dependent, you will be in the influence of others. That's why many times Baba says our lakshya is to become karmatit. Karmatit is a stage which is beyond the influences of any kind of right and wrong. It is beyond. And that is actually our lakshya. That is the complete rule over the self. So here also Baba raises that point and reminds us that to check whether we are dependent or in the influence of others. When any king claims the right to another king's kingdom, he first takes the king prisoner. That is, the king is then dependent on someone else. This is how it works. You target the king, and then the kingdom is yours. So Baba says you're targeted by Maya, and then all your sense organs, the physical, the subtle, they work according to the ruler of the opposite, the Maya. So Baba says you have to be in constant awareness and elevated state that who you are, and always be seated in that self-respect. So how is the technique of Maya? That when it has to claim the right, it will first take the king as prisoner. So check whether you have one kingdom, or do the ones who have a right to the kingdom of Maya bring you the self-sovereign, the kings. So do you have one kingdom or two kingdoms, Baba asks. So you have to check whether you have that rule over yourself, or the subjects of Maya that take over. Maya also has subjects. What are the subjects of Maya? They will take the king, they will target the king. So we have to be aware and conscious about it. So Baba says, the self-sovereign kings, or your physical organs that carry out the functioning of the kingdom under their influence, under the influence of Maya, every now and then. So do you have one kingdom or two kingdoms? Is it the law and order of you, the self-sovereigns, which is ruling? Or do the orders of Maya also rule every now and then? You have to shift this side every day, bit by bit. It's important, because otherwise Maya is trying with all its force to take over. We have been in the influence of Maya for a very, very long time. And therefore Maya faces us and tries to take us back. So Baba says you have to check whether you have that rule or Maya is influencing you now and then. So this is about the kingdom. That there is oneness, there is that authority, there is that clarity, and the uninfluential stage. Together with this, there is one dharma, religion. Dharma means dharana, inculcation. So what is the one religion or one dharana of self-sovereignty? So Baba says purity. Purity in everything, in your thoughts, words, deeds, relationships, and connection. Purity in thoughts, words, deeds, relationships, and connection. This is said to be one religion, that is one dharana. So check whether this dharma of purity is being followed inside. One dharana. There shouldn't be impurity, that is another religion, in your dreams or even in your thoughts. At any level, the other dharma should not work. And what is the other dharma? It is that impurity in thoughts or even in dreams. Where there is purity, there cannot be any name or trace of impurity. It's a kingdom, and kingdom has one dharana. One kingdom has one dharana. And Baba has given us this dharana of purity. This is the dharana of self-sovereign children. So Baba says that there should not be any trace of impurity, that is anything wasteful or vicious. Have you become so powerful? Or are you the kings who are weak? Check. Weakness, dependencies, getting influenced, that is weakness. Impurity is weakness. So Baba says, have you become that powerful, or is there any weakness? What types of kings are you? Or is it that you are sometimes weak and sometimes powerful? If you cannot rule the kingdom of this one short birth, how would you claim a right to a kingdom for 21 births? You are developing those sanskars now. So Baba says, the future world will be created with the elevated sanskars of this time. Developing those sanskars now, based on which a future world will be created. So the sanskars of the present time of one kingdom and one religion are the foundation of the future world. So check, is your happiness, peace and wealth based on limited attainments? What comes next? In a kingdom, peace, happiness. Baba has mentioned about the kingdom, one kingdom, and the dharana, which is purity. We have to check. If there is not enough purity, there will be weakness. And now Baba is asking to check about your happiness, wealth, and peace. So is it on the limited attainments, or do you have the spiritual, super sensuous happiness of the supreme godly kingdom? Do we remain in that intoxication, unlimited frame, or we are still stuck in the limited frame and we are expecting, and our happiness is based on that? So Baba says, is your experience of happiness based on the facilities and praise? This is that limited frame. That attainments, our happiness is based on facilities and praise. Baba has mentioned both outside attribute and the inside. The subtle attribute, the gross attribute, the facility, and the subtle attribute, which is praise, both limited. So is our happiness based on that? Or is your kingdom that of super sensuous happiness based on the supreme? We keep him as foundation. He takes us to that unlimited frame. And all our dependencies on the limited attainments, they are automatically gone. So Baba says that happiness, constant happiness, comes when our base is supreme. The same for unbroken peace. This was for the happiness. Aadhar kya hai? The unlimited, supreme. For the unbroken peace, akhand shanti, Baba says, does any type of situation of peacelessness destroy the unbroken peace? For those who are self-sovereign, any storm of peacelessness, whether large or small, is there to make them experienced, and so they become a gift for the flying stage. Any storm, large or small, it comes to make you experienced, and so they become a gift for the flying stage. बाबा कहते उड़ती कला में ले जाने वाला तोहफा बन जाता है. They become a gift of a lift. This is known as constant peace. It's not that there will be peace outside. There will be peaceless situations, but our experience becomes different. Our feelings, our attitude to take it becomes different now on the basis of knowledge. So Baba says, anything cannot disturb your peace, and you take it in a way that lifts you. It becomes a gift to lift you. This is known as constant peace. So check, is your kingdom one of unbroken peace and self-sovereignty? Now he comes to wealth. After happiness and health, there is wealth. It is the same for wealth. The wealth of self-sovereignty is knowledge, virtues, and powers. If you're rich in them, rich in knowledge, rich in virtues, rich in powers, you are wealthy. So are you the self-sovereigns who are full of all these types of wealth? The sign of being full is that wherever there is fullness, there is constant contentment. Fullness, contentment, and there is no name or trace of any lack of attainment. See how Baba brings us that clarity. That with everything he says, there is a sign that you are at this stage. If there is fullness, there is contentment. And there is no trace of lack of attainment. To be ignorant of the knowledge of limited desires is known as being wealthy. At the present time, being wealthy is this: to be ignorant of any kind of limited desires. And to be a king means to be a bestower. Before that, what Baba said, you have to be full in those knowledge, virtues, and powers. Only then can you be content and then a bestower. So if someone has limited desires or any desire for attainment, then instead of being a king, such a soul becomes a beggar. There are some limited desires. Limited desires. Again, go and check in those limited frames. What do you need? Praise. You need facilities, acceptance, approval, anything. So if there are limited desires, then instead of being a king, become a beggar. That brings us down from our stage of self-respect. So Baba says to check. Many times Baba says, जहां इच्छा है वहां वो अच्छा बनने नहीं देगी. इच्छा अच्छा बनने नहीं देगी. You will always be in that expecting mode. But Baba says you become a beggar. So if you have limited desires, it is asking and becoming a beggar. Therefore, check your self-sovereignty very well. Check. Is my self-sovereignty that of one kingdom, one religion, and full of peace and happiness? Or is it still becoming that? What is the stage now? If you are still becoming kings and do not have the stage of being a self-sovereign, then what are you at that time? Do you become subjects? Or are you neither subjects nor kings, but just in between? Baba is asking to check. In Sakar times, there was always this checking happening every day, every night, where there was where you were a tribunal to yourself and checking whether that kingdom is there or was I a subject to any of the desires or anything. So Baba is asking you to check now that what is your stage at the present moment, and do we give importance to it? We remain in the intoxication of the future, but do we still at present give that much importance that we have to be in that stage of being a king for a long time? So Baba says, now do not remain in between. Do not think that you will become this at the end. If you definitely wish to claim the fortune of the kingdom for a long period of time in the future, if you wish to claim the fortune for a long period of time of that kingdom, then definitely the fruit of self-sovereignty over a long time is to receive the kingdom for a long period of time. The kingdom for a long period of time in future is based on our stage at the present. Which stage? Self-sovereignty over a long period of time. So we have to keep increasing that stage. Increase the time, increase the constant awareness and attention and being in that stage for a longer time. Only then are we defining our future in that way. Therefore, Baba says, बहुत काल का अभ्यास is constant. It's not coming up and down, but constantly for a long period of time, being stabilized in that stage. So Baba says that you have to be in that stage of self-sovereignty over a long period of time in the Sangam Yuga, today, present. The basis of claiming a right to a kingdom for the full span of time is to have constant self-sovereignty at the present time. Full span of time is to have that ruling and controlling power over the self constantly at the present time. Do you understand? Never remain careless, thinking it will happen, it will happen. Children, entertain Bap Dada with many sweet things. Instead of being kings, they become very good lawyers. He says instead of being kings, they try to defend themselves. And they don't understand that it's Maya which is working. When you try to defend yourself, it is the Maya which is working, ruling. So they relate such good points of law that Baba continues to smile. If a child gives those points of law, which the father knows is invalid, the father will smile. So Baba sees us and he continues to smile on our stage of ignorance. So Baba says, so is a lawyer better than a king? You argue points of law with great cleverness. So now stop arguing points of law. Baba's Srimad is the only law. There is no other law. If we are not abiding by that, we are at fault. It is that highest law for us. So never become a lawyer. Baba says, stop arguing points of law. Become the beloved royal children. The father has love for the children, and this is why, while seeing and listening to all of that, he continues to smile. Reason? So he will smile. He's not using Dharmraj at the moment. When we are giving the points of law, as a father, he smiles. He's not a Dharmraj at that time, but definitely if we keep on doing that, karma, then the Dharmraj's role will come into action at some point in time. So to be that careful, that not be a lawyer, but abiding what Baba says. Love is making everyone move along. Love is the biggest law. So Baba says, love is making everyone move along. You have arrived here because of love, have you not? So in response to your love, Bab Dada is also giving multi-million-fold love in return. Let's always be in that receptive mode. But Baba is giving us multi-million-fold love. Children of this land and abroad have arrived in Madhuban, flying in the vehicle of love. Bab Dada is seeing all of you present here in the Sakar form and seeing the loving form of all the children everywhere. By seeing here in the limited frame, but then he is also seeing the unlimited frame where every children is in the loving form. Acha, to all the close children merged in love, let us accept the blessing what Baba is giving one by one. To all the close children merged in love, to the elevated souls who have self-sovereignty and so are right to the kingdom of the world, to the special, elevated, wealthy souls who have full attainment of all types, to the children who have claimed the right to one kingdom, one religion, and a complete kingdom, and who are like the fathers to the fortunate souls. Love, remembrance, and namaste from Bap Dada, the bestower of fortune. Such an empowering blessing Baba is giving us, and he says we belong to the bestower of fortune. That is the biggest fortune, that we belong to the bestower of fortunes, to remain in that intoxication today throughout. Now Bap Dada meeting the Dadis. All tasks are continuing well, are they not? The tasks are being carried out with good zeal and enthusiasm. Karavanhar is enabling it to happen, and those who are instruments are carrying it out. This is the yukti, that we have to do the karma. We are the instrument who are carrying it out, and Karavanhar is doing it. Do you have this experience? Every task is easy and successful with the finger of everyone's cooperation. How is all of this happening? It seems like magic, does it not? People of the world just see it and are wonderstruck, whereas you instrument souls will constantly continue to move forward because you are carefree kings. They are wonderstruck, the people outside, because they see, they do not know who is driving it. And Baba says, you continue to move forward because you're carefree, because Karavanhar is Baba, so you're carefree kings. People of the world worry at every step, whereas you are carefree because you have remembrance of Supreme in every thought. Let's check and take this point to work upon. We should have the remembrance of the Supreme in our every thought. Then we become carefree. You are carefree, are you not? It is good. You have an eternal relationship. When you know that who is driving, it is your father who is driving your fortune, you become carefree. So Baba says you have that eternal relationships and that eternal carefreeness then. Acha, everything is moving along well, and it will continue to move along well. Blessing. Everything is moving well, and it will continue to move along well. You have faith and you're carefree. What is the basis of being carefree? Faith. First, Baba said, being in the remembrance of the Supreme. Second, now he says, you have faith. Faith works it all. So Baba says, you have faith and you are carefree. You do not have the worry of what will happen or how it will happen. So you are carefree kings. Baba is asking the teachers, do the teachers have any worries? Do you have the worry of how the centers will expand? Do you have the worry of how service will grow? Do you not have this worry? Are you carefree? To think about something is different from worrying about it. We have to be action oriented, where we have to act. But Baba says not to worry. You may think about increasing service. That is, you may make plans for service. However, there will never be any success through worrying. What Baba mentioned earlier, worrying is again getting influenced. And that is the Maya. When you worry, you are in the influence and in control of Maya. So Baba says you have to make plans, do things, but not worry. The one enabling you to move is making you move. The one enabling everything to happen is making it happen. Ravan is Baba. He is making it all happen. Therefore, everything will happen easily. Having that faith, everything will happen easily. Simply be the instruments and use your thoughts, body, mind, and wealth in a worthwhile way. Baba is taking that guarantee of future and present that everything will happen easily. But what is expecting us to be? Instruments. And using our thoughts, body, mind, wealth in a worthwhile way. There is something which is there on our part, which we have to do. And what is that? Using our thoughts, our body, our mind, our wealth in a worthwhile way, as per the direction of Bap Dada. Whatever task is being carried out at any time, that is our task. Baba is taking us to that Behad stage, that whatever task, whatever godly service is going on, you should have that belongingness that it's mine. And I have to contribute in that through any way. So any task is our task. When something is our task, when it is your task personally, then where there is the consciousness of mind, you will use everything for it. So what is the special task of the Brahmin family? Teachers should respond. Teachers, what is the special task of the Brahmin family at the present time? At that time, there was this construction of Gyan Sarovar was going on. So Baba is asking the teachers that what is the special task at the present time? For what will you use everything in a worthwhile way? Worthwhile way? In a balanced way. Keeping that balance. The balance is always knowledge and feelings ka balance. Okay, the gyan or bhavna ka balance. So using that balance and using everything in a worthwhile way for Gyan Sarovar, will you sacrifice everything in the Sarovar? When a special task is being performed within the family, where does everyone's attention go? Their attention goes towards that special task. At the present time, this is the greatest task of the Brahmin family. Each moment has its own importance. Each moment. And what is the moment today? We are seeing in today's scenario. What is the task that we all Brahmins have to do? When there is transformation happening, when there is so much going around, it is my responsibility to bring a change. So Baba says each moment has its own importance. We have to understand and we have to have that belongingness to Baba's task as my task. So within the Brahmin family, the cooperation of everyone here and abroad is for this special task. Or is it for your own center? To the extent that a task is big, so you have as big a heart. To the extent that you have a big heart, to that extent, there is automatic accomplishment. The connection. Special task is there, you have a big heart, and then that cooperation is there and accomplishment. That we all have to do today at the present time, change. And that self-transformation is then bringing the world transformation. So Baba says, having a big heart, that is what we have to work on. If you have a small heart, then whatever was going to come will stop. See what law God is giving us. If you have a small heart, whatever was going to come will stop. The qualification required is having a big heart. Coming in that small, making your heart small in little things is also shrinking our heart, and then it's keeping us away from attainments. Attainment of even Baba's love and powers. To attain that, experience that, we must have a big heart. A big heart will always forgive. A big heart will always let go. A big heart will always accept. A big heart will always give. Being disheartened is also a sign of a small heart, and that will keep us away from attainments. Remember that law. Must have a big heart. So Baba says, whereas with a big heart, even the impossible becomes possible. That is the magic of having a big heart. And with the remembrance of Baba, we are now coming in that flame. No? We are having that heart which is big. Even the impossible becomes possible. Is it the Gyan Sarovar of Madhuban or is it yours? Whose is it? It is Madhuban's. It is not. Baba is saying it's not belonging to Gujarat or Maharashtra, but it is everyone's. The unlimited place for unlimited service will enable all souls to receive their unlimited inheritance. Achha. Now there is personal meetings of Bab Dada with different groups, which we are going to cover tomorrow. There are 6 groups. Bab Dada is meeting all of them. So tomorrow we'll cover each one. Okay, so today's Murli. We, the beloved royal children of Baba, we have to work on that one kingdom, one dharana, that unbroken peace, happiness, and wealth. And Baba has given little techniques that how to have that attainments and many checking points, and also the sign that if you're full, you are content. Those kind of sign, and on those basis we have to check ourselves and remain in that stage of self-sovereignty for a longer period of time, because that forms the basis of our fortune in the future. So let us share the points of churning. What point today I'm going to work on, and as a takeaway from today's Murli. Let us summarize. We'll share each point.
Om Shanti. Are we going to meditate, or can I speak?
Yeah, we'll churn first and then we'll meditate.
Okay. Today, my takeaway point, or the point which I'm going to remember throughout is, because I'm also faced this, there will be peaceless situation, but it becomes a gift to lift you. This is my takeaway point today. Om Shanti.
Situations will be peaceless, but then it becomes a gift for me and takes me in that flying stage.
Yes.
That should be the attitude towards the situation, to have that constant peace within. Yes.
Om Shanti. So, while beautifully rendered, sister, and in the entire script, the beginning itself, that there is only one dharana, one religion, purity in everything, in thoughts, in deeds, in actions. And I could, when you were reading it, it is just the experience that Baba is giving us, that one consciousness. Everything is pure, everything is connected. And that feeling and vibration, I want to keep it throughout with me, because I think that is what makes us connected as one big, peaceful, large family, and with no exclusions. Everybody who's pure is part of it, so, and no matter how they appear physically or what, this is the way I interpreted it. It doesn't matter, because sometimes the purity is from inside. It's the thoughts, the deeds, the actions, but we are all together, and that is the Baba's family. Om Shanti.
Lovely.
Om
Baba
Shanti.
says all kinds of purity, stages of purity. And many times Baba says our action and our thought should be in line. That oneness is also purity. So we have to maintain that, sustain the purity at all levels. Yes, Kalpesh bhai.
Om Shanti. Thanks, Baba. And today I will said in the Murli that each movement is just each movement has its own importance.
Yes.
And I will do in today. I will miss each in every moment. I will work thinking that there is a big hearted work as a big hearted with big hearted. Om Shanti.
That is a thing of the intellect and the heart. The heart is big-hearted, keeping that unlimited, being in that unlimited consciousness. All it brings you automatically in that frame. If we are body conscious, we are in the limited frame, and we have small heart. We're getting disheartened with each perishable things and situation. But when we are soul conscious, that is the basis. We become big-hearted automatically, and therefore Baba always keeps reminding us that who you are and whom do you belong to. Even if we remember these 2 points, our heart becomes big.
Yes.
So yes, it's very good that we have to pay attention to.
Om Shanti. Very powerful Murli. Baba says you have to become king for unlimited time, then only you are going to rule over in Satyuga. So self-sovereignty 24/7 on my own senses. So that's one takeaway. And second, Baba gave us intoxication. We should belong to Yagya. Whatever that wave is on, we should be committed to that. So Baba was emphasizing on Gyan Sarovar that time. But right now, Madhuban and all Baba's children, they are in at one wavelength of services that thought we have to be giver, master giver, like Baba is ultimate giver, that peace. So for that, we have to be in combined Sarup all the time. My thought, each and every thought is going to every human soul, especially those who are needy ones. So I need to be connected, self-sovereign all the time, and feel it's my important utmost task to be peaceful and ultimately joyful, blissful, so that my vibrations reaches to everyone, all the needful ones. And sister, you showing up your face was Baba says, show it by, features. So we are unable to go to Madhuban. So thank you, Baba, for showing up. I felt purity level was wonderful and it was emanating throughout the class. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Baba, and definitely you the souls, you have that much catching power that you are taking Baba's every point so deep into the churning. And very good point you raised, that being is giving. When you be in that stage constantly, you are giving and being a part of that wave of service. So definitely Baba is choosing you the instrument, and you're contributing. Your every thought and that stage of being is contributing to Baba's yagya, which is a big fortune in itself. Very beautifully said. Okay, anything else anyone would like to share?
Sister, we are carefree because we have supreme in our every thought of remembrance.
Beautiful.
And
Yes, that
the
is
basis of this carefreeness is faith, and only faith. Om Shanti.
beautiful, no? Summarized and remembered in a very beautiful way. We have in our remembrance, we have the Supreme, and we have that faith in Him, and therefore we are carefree. Okay? And we're the instruments. So today, the whole day, we're going to consider ourselves as instrument to Baba, but in the stage of self-sovereignty, an instrument to Baba, not to Maya, being in that self-sovereign stage. Okay, anything else? So we can meditate for some time. Okay, let's just sit back. Bring Baba in our remembrance. I, the soul, I belong to the bestower of fortune. I am a multi-million fortunate soul. I am a king of my own kingdom. There is one kingdom which is ruled by me, the soul. On the laws given by Supreme. There is one dharana of purity, clarity. There is constant peace, happiness, and wealth of knowledge, virtues, and powers. Visualize yourself with such a powerful kingdom. I am carefree. The sense of belongingness to Baba makes me fly, empowers me, enriches me, and takes me to that unlimited consciousness and attainments. Om Shanti. Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Tomorrow morning, we shall all meet again at 5:30.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.